Good morning, guys. I'm going to do pen sketching. Really funny fact, my Papermate pen that I absolutely love on smooth paper is shit on textured paper. But my Bic round stick that tends to really piss me off on smooth paper is fantastic on textured. So, really, your tools kind of will reflect the paper you're using. It's just this weird thing. Anyway. So I forgot to do my mythology march for yesterday, but I had done all the reading on the creature that I wanted to represent, but just due to me and the time change and being super tired, I just didn't get it done. Which, know your own limits. You don't have to kill yourself for a project, and especially one that's for fun. So I'm going to do 2 mythology marches today to make up for that. And it's just, when I'm doing these drawing challenges, I just let my schedule and my mood dictate how or how bad I am going to work on it. Stress in life and other obligations, work and everything. If you're too tired, the only thing I hate about this pen is it goobs, to do something because you've been working an 8.5-hour shift, you have to and you have to come home and make dinner or go grocery shopping or do other things. You have to realize how much energy you do have. Yes, it is important to do your drawing challenge or to do that exercise or something, and maybe you do a few scribbles that day, but you just don't work on the full piece that you want to work on. You have to look at, unless it's a deadline and you are a freelance artist, that's something different because that is work. But if you have a full-time job or whatever, and you just can't put the time into the piece that day, maybe sometimes it's better to do something a little bit more simple, or maybe you should look at doing just taking that day and doing 2 the next day. As long as you do them eventually, and keep caught up with it, it'll be fine. Then again, it's a drawing challenge. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to make or break you. You have to be able to gauge what you can do in that time frame. And anyone who kind of puts you down for it, don't listen to them. So, yeah. A lot of people put too much stock in these drawing challenges, and that if you fail at them, you are an ultimate failure and you're not going to make it as anything because you can't dedicate yourself to a cause. But if you've got X teen number of things on your plate and the drawing challenge is one of them, and that's the thing that gets sacrificed that day because you have other obligations, don't feel bad about it, please. People who put ultimatums on you like that are just dicks, and they have not experienced real life at all. So that's what used to make me really angry about certain types of people that I went to school with. It would be all or nothing, and it's a very unhealthy way to think. You put your all into something, or you can put so much energy. We all have so much energy that we can attribute to certain tasks in a day. And if you've ever read spoon theory, this is a part of that theory. You use spoons instead of energy. But basically, we've got this little pot of energy that we distribute among our tasks. And certain tasks drain us a lot faster than others. Being an introvert, social interactions tend to drain me a lot more than normal people. I don't like partying. I've never been one for partying. But understanding your own limitations is very beneficial for just yourself. And you can know that, okay, I would like to do this drawing today, so maybe I will allot this amount of time in my day to work on that drawing challenge. Or maybe you're like, oh man, today I've got so much on my plate. I've got to be at a doctor's appointment. I've got to take my kids to school. I've got to go grocery shopping and pay bills. And you have all these tasks. And sometimes the drawing, like if you're trying to get into daily drawing, sometimes it kind of falls by the wayside. If you are trying to do a daily practice, just like 5 minutes in the morning with your coffee, maybe grab a sketchbook and do some scribbles. That is like the easiest way. If it is a drawing challenge, maybe just do a really simple version of the challenge that day. Don't do a really big, beautiful illustration. Just do something cute and cartoon-like. Gauge your, like, make your art around your daily tasks, basically. Now, obviously, if you are looking to be an illustration or freelancer or anything like that, like, or an animation, going into the animation industry, you're going to have a little bit different views on art because art is your job. But you have to still be able to balance your work life and your work life, your social life, and your own mental health. Don't let your mental health suffer because you've just pulled a 3-day stint to get a project done. Allot your time properly, balance yourself out, and I am kind of hypocritical on this because I am the worst at task delegating, and I always bite off more than I can chew, or I put things off and I procrastinate. I fully admit that. It is not an attractive feature in me. That is one of the things I most hate about myself is my procrastination habits and my ability to get distracted. I can get distracted on the simplest little thing because I'll get a thought and I'm like, oh man, I really want to draw a mushroom. And then I'll go off on a tangent and like look at mushrooms for an hour on Pinterest. Pinterest is the worst and the best thing to ever have happened to me. But that is kind of like, that's the type of thing. Like, you have to be like, okay, I'm going to spend 5 minutes doing this. And if you have to set timers, I found that timers actually help me out with my tasks because I know, okay, I have 30 minutes to get this task done. Or I've got 5 minutes and that's my break, so I can go and do some things in 5 minutes, but I always have a timer on my phone because that way I'm delegating my tasks properly. And I'm working on the task that I should be working on for that allotted amount of time. But I've had to really do research on my tasks and figuring out what tasks to be doing, like not what to be doing, but how to get my tasks done, and like different ways to help me get my tasks done. And I found that timers are like one of the best things for me. It might not work for everyone, but it does help me out a lot because I know like I have this amount of time to do something, and there's timers that I have that are actually like music, so it'll play like rainforest sounds or something, and in that time I can't look at the internet, I can't do anything, I just have to focus on my task at hand. So maybe if you have problems staying on task, maybe look at one of those apps. I forget the name of the one I do use. I will look it up and maybe put it in the comments section for you guys. But it's one of the ones that help. Or I just set the timer on my phone and be like, okay, I've got 15 minutes. And that's how I've been doing workouts as well. I just put 10 minutes on my phone and I'm like, I have to get through cardio and weight, like body weight training, and I do HIIT, so HTTI, which is high interval training, high intensity intervals training, and I do that for 10 minutes, and that's kind of like my daily workout if I can. And I try to do that every day. Some days I'll do yoga for that 10 minutes, but it's that movement and the strength training of the yoga that is really good. So it depends on like your lifestyle and what you can do. I'm really bad at cardio, so I try to do more yoga than anything. But yeah, just those little tips and tricks, and like not putting so much pressure on yourself. when you are trying to do like an art challenge or something, and realizing that you do have other obligations is one of the better ways to get through those things. And like just maybe schedule your time out if you notice that you've been putting off the challenge for a while. Either decide if the challenge is for you or not, or just give yourself 10 minutes, work on one drawing and like a sketch or something for that challenge, and then that's your sketch of the day. You've worked on art for 10 minutes. That is like another way to get it in. But yeah, anyways, I hope those little tips and tricks that I have for keeping on task and time management will help you guys out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions of your own ways that you keep on task. I would really love to hear them. I'm always searching for new methods to keep myself focused. I have a very, very hard time with focus, unless I'm hyper focusing, which is great when I can like really focus in on art and finish a really cool piece, but really, really bad when I ignore all my other work. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will chatter at you later, and today's piece is from Teutonic Myth, which is based out of Germany, and it's gnomes, garden gnomes, the helpful, not the Harry Potter ones that are a detriment to gardening. In the real myth of gnomes, basically they're beneficial spirits to have in your garden, and people will lure them to their garden, planting certain things that gnomes like, because the gnomes will help people grow their gardens, and they're very helpful little creatures. So they also are very friendly with animals. So I have this little gnome here and a squirrel that it is feeding, and there's a little house in the distance that the gnome is going towards to help out with the gardening there. Anyways, weird little story for you, but that is my piece of the day. I know it's a little out of the norm for me, but whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll chat at you later. Bye.